Have you ever thought about becoming or being the purpose for someone else? How would you feel if you knew what you were doing was to encourage someone else to do something for themselves or for others? When you think about it, someone has made it their purpose to make sure that your purpose is fulfilled, seen, heard, or talked about. When you know the definition of personal purpose, you'll know that you are here for a reason. We often ask God, why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? When am I supposed to be doing it? But sometimes there's a misconception about self centered purpose versus others centered purpose. When we find out our relationship to others, we pretty much can understand our purpose and the fulfillment that it can bring to others. So we have to realize the concept of being a purpose for someone else. When you look over the ideas that you have in your head, the ideas that others have shared with you, being someone else's source of support or inspiration has an effect on both parties, a all inclusive idea. It's what you would call a ripple effect. What feelings do you have when you know that you have impacted others? As Christian women, as leaders in the community, as well known professionals or least known professionals, our impact on others can create so many relationships that have stemmed from you, us, we, as support for inspiration for others. When you bless someone, God blesses you. In real life, this happens. Our mentorship, our friendship, our community roles, they all make a difference. Think about these questions. Who is wanting something from us? Who needs something from us? Who relies on us? Make it a personal question. Who relies on me? Not just for food, shelter, and clothing, but for that emotional support. Who relies on you? What impact have you made on others' lives? When someone calls you on the phone, they may just call just to say hello. They may call to check on you. They may call to share some good things or maybe bad things or challenging things that happen in their life. But when they ask you for advice or what do you think or what would you do, you have to remember, is this a self-centered answer or am I doing a service for others, a others-centered answer? Recognize those moments every day in your life, what your purpose is. Who have I helped the most in my life? Who has helped you the most in your life? Think about the relationships that you have, the friends that you have, the colleagues. Think about those strangers that you've met or people you haven't seen in a while. I visit a church in my community this Sunday. I kind of broke protocol a little. I went to another church other than my home church. But this was people that I have spent maybe 3 or 4 years with on my Christian journey. I was happy to be there. I know it's fertile ground. I know the purpose for me becoming a part of that congregation was to inspire me to do more. And all the hugs and responses that I received, they asked about my family and what's going on in my life, that let me know that I was there for a purpose, not only for myself, but for someone else. And they've been keeping up with me on the things that I've been doing, and I've been watching them. But recognize those extraordinary moments, those ordinary moments of being there for someone else. Recognize those moments in your everyday life that you have responded to the actions and the choices of someone else. Being in your presence meant something to them. Those moments might last for just 30 seconds, 60 seconds, but they make an impact for a lifetime. And you have to come to some type of balance in your life to know when you're being selfish or selfless. So, how can you, on purpose, be there for someone else? Teaching them, reaching them, asking them, do they need help? Do you realize that it's our responsibility as a community to help the community to grow physically, mentally, financially? We have to support in the ways that we can. Can you be a purpose instead of worrying about what's your purpose? Can you be a purpose and see if you can help someone else? And in the process, you may discover your purpose. God has already laid the foundation for your purpose. He has already said what He can and what He will do for us. But we first have to be willing to do something for someone else without losing our own sense of self. We know how to keep boundaries. We know how to serve others without bleeding on them, as you would say. We know how to do it without depleting ourselves. As an intercessor in prayer, we must know when to be that purpose in that prayer and have intentions to help others. We have to balance it and realize it's a give and take relationship. Don't take so much that you can't give back. There's steps that you can take to recognize when you're being a selfless perfect person or selfish person when helping others discover their purpose. It takes a word. It takes a word. It could be 2 or 3 words. It could be a book worth of words, but it takes words, actions. Be a listener, have empathy, and be reliable. Do you know how many people have been destroyed because of unreliable people? You want to be reliable, on time, on point, be there when that person needs you the most. You might have to sacrifice some time, sacrifice some people, places, and things to be a reliable source of support. And in this, you're creating a legacy, long term relationships, establishing goals for yourself and for others, and making life meaningful. Reflect on that question. Are you selfless or selfish with others' purpose? Who are you here for?